Every marriage has 3 rings. The engagement ring, the wedding ring, and the bickering. We're here to settle the fights that don't matter and have no winner. It's the 3 Rings Podcast with another new argument.
It is the 3 Rings Podcast, here to settle all of the various fights that have no winner and mean absolutely nothing in every relationship. I am PK, and for the duration of this podcast, I will probably be referred to as Phil more often than not. And sitting across from me, my lovely, lovely co-host and wife, Lauren.
Hi.
With the laughing.
Yes.
And the giggles.
The constant laughing.
Yes. So that's what this podcast is all about. The two of us, we have lots of fights between the two of us.
Fights.
Lots of fights that don't matter.
Bickers.
Yes.
I feel like fights implies something different.
Yeah, we don't fist fight, but we come up with a lot of different. Watch yourself. We come up with a lot of different things that we don't necessarily see eye to eye on, and they really mean nothing in the grand scheme of life.
Not a single thing.
But that's what we've come to settle is the debates. Mm-hmm. And before we get to the topic of the week, because we'll be putting these out on a weekly basis. This week's topic is what is the best Disney song. So before we get to that bickering and that argument, we should probably explain a little bit about who we are and why this is actually a thing for us.
And has been constantly. This Disney song fight seems to be a reoccurring one for us.
There's a reason we're leading with this topic.
Because we need all of you to settle it for us. Tell us who's right.
Yeah, so as you're listening, you can go on to our various social media, whether it's Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, 3 Rings Pod.
At 3 Rings Pod, and that's THREE.
Yes.
Spelled out.
Yep, so give us a like, go and follow us, and you'll be able to chime in on the arguments, and you'll get a teaser each week for what the following week's argument is going to be about. So that's where you should go right now as you're listening, and give us a follow. So
tell us about what fights you guys are having.
Also that as well. It
could be, and it doesn't have to be with a spouse. It can be with a significant other. It can be with a friend or family member. We are here we specialize in the fights that happen between couples, but that doesn't mean we can't branch out. Yes,
the majority of these topics will probably be couple related because we are a couple, and that's kind of how we roll.
So how long have we been a couple for, Philip? Let's see if we can answer this one.
We've been married for over 3 years now.
Yes.
It was our 3-year anniversary back in October.
Yes.
We got married on October 22nd of 2016.
Look at that, ladies.
Yeah, that's right. I don't mess around.
No.
I remember these things.
Yes.
But we have been dating, it's coming up on 8 years?
I think 7.
7?
I think December 27th, 2012.
Was it 2012?
Because it was the year that the world was going to end, remember?
Was it?
We were sneaking in a romance right before, the apocalypse.
Yeah, it was 7 years ago.
Yeah.
Because we were at a show
shortly before
we started dating, and that was 7 years ago. Thank you, Facebook, for that
reminding us, documenting our important milestones.
Yeah, so coming up on 7 years of actually dating and being together.
We met through the radio station in Detroit, where we're from.
Yep.
Philip was a, I don't know what your exact title was.
Most people don't know what I was doing. I hardly...
He was interning in some fashion. We're not really sure what all his exact duties were.
I technically was an unofficial intern, I guess. It basically started, Jay, who was hosting nights at the time, needed extra help in the studio. Mm-hmm. And instead of getting somebody who worked in our promotions department, where you were working,
yes,
as
I was
intern,
in the promotions department.
He ended up calling me because he knew that I was into music and was starting to get into radio and all of that. So I essentially only interned in the studio and did none of the other stuff. So I was around for everything,
Yes.
but I never had to do any of the grunt work.
And we met at a Battle of the Bands where I was interning, and I was a young go-getter, so I was trying to make sure that everybody who worked for the station knew my name if I should someday leave. So I knew Phil did something for the station, but again, did not know what. Still to this day, don't really know
It's a cloud
what.
of mystery.
He was there. I don't know. So I walked up to him and I was like, "Hi, I'm Lauren. I'm an intern for the promotions department. I know you work for the station and I just want to introduce myself." And then I walked away and he followed me.
I did. Followed
Not in a
her.
creepy way, in a
No,
nice way.
I followed her essentially right to the bar, which was right where our table was.
Yes. And asked me where someone else was.
Yeah.
Yeah, the jock that was working the event. But
Yeah. Super romantic. By the
yeah,
way.
we ended up talking the whole night. And then the rest has kind of been history.
It has been, yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a long run.
Yeah. I mean, long-ish. In the grand scheme of things, not very long.
In the grand scheme of things, no. But
I think in the grand scheme of things, we're probably considered newlyweds still.
yeah, well, I mean, 3 years is
Nothing.
Is new-ish, yeah.
But we have been together for the better part of a decade.
That's true.
Yeah.
So, I think we're doing all right. But through those years, we've come up with a lot of different topics that we don't necessarily agree on, and that's why we've decided to do this.
We're both somewhat opinionated people.
Yes.
Some of us more than others, being you more than.
Rude.
Don't try and deny it.
No,
You're a
I'm
much
very opinionated.
pickier person than I am in general for
Yes.
most things. So, but and I wouldn't consider myself a competitive person, but when
No.
I really believe in something, I really believe
Oh
in
yeah,
it.
you stand your ground, and yeah, you will die on every hill when it's important to you.
Yes.
Yeah, even when you know it's the wrong hill to die on.
Yes.
You're like, nope.
I'm digging in.
Yeah. So
This is where I stand, and so
So-
shall it be forever.
yeah, so that's the basic premise behind what this podcast is.
Mm-hmm.
Is we wanted to share all of these hills we die on, so to speak, and see if anybody can settle these arguments. Whether it's us just going through and very, professionally arguing about these,
Yeah.
or if somebody else is going to chime in and tell us, no, you're all wrong.
And
this
we
is
wanted
what it
to
is.
save other couples from the headache of doing this, so we'll solve yours too.
That's right. And if you didn't even think of these, welcome to the argument.
Yeah.
Prepare to have your lives
Yeah.
twisted now.
Yeah. We're gonna introduce things you didn't even think to argue about, including,
right.
like we said, today's topic, which is which Disney song is the best.
Yes, and before we get very heated into these arguments, the way that we're going to go about all of these things, I mean, it could go back and forth and saying like this is the best, and no, mine's the best. Like, we're not doing that. We actually have
Facts.
data and facts that we're going to be
So
kind of-
using to support our arguments.
Yes, so
It's a real debate.
real-ish debate. It's a semi-formal debate. So we do have some info as to why we're picking these things. And again, you can chime in. You can tell us that one of us is right. You can tell us that we're both wrong.
Which will probably be the case.
That's definitely going to be the case for a lot of this, especially with this one.
Yes.
But at 3 Rings Pod for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, you can chime in and let us know what you're thinking. But we'll kick things off with this, and I'll start.
Go for it.
I guess. So I think that the best Disney song is A Whole New World from Aladdin.
I mean, it's a good song, but it's not even the best song in Aladdin. Okay, sorry.
Stop it. I'm laying out my points.
Okay.
We will argue about this
Continue.
in just a moment.
I'm sorry. Continue.
So the reason why I think A Whole New World from Aladdin is the best Disney song of all time. Point number one, it's the film's love song and theme song. Point number two, it's won a shitload of awards, including an Academy Award and a Grammy. And third point, Aladdin was the highest grossing animated film. So up until that time when it was released in 92. So those are my main 3 points. I'll dive into those a little bit as we go on, but your rebuttal.
Yeah, I'm countering with Be Our Guest from 1991's Beauty and the Beast. And again, it is also won, as you so eloquently put it, a shitload of awards. It was on several best of Disney song lists, and it plays a very pivotal role in the plot of the whole film.
Okay.
So.
All right. I'm eager to hear you explain that one, but we'll see about that. Well, I'll start out with my first point. A Whole New World. It's the love song and the theme song for the entire movie, which, when it comes to Disney movies, the love song is typically the biggest song in the film.
Yeah, I mean, typically.
It's usually what most of the Disney movies of their time revolved around, was somewhat of a love story between two characters. And it has the main two characters showing their love, expressing their love, singing the song together, and it became the theme song for the entire movie. And when you have the love song, which is the most important, and the theme song, which is probably the most recognizable song, and it's the same song, that's pretty tough to beat when it comes to picking a best song.
It's boring.
How is it boring?
It doesn't add anything to the movie.
What do you mean it doesn't add anything to it's literally the focal point of the movie.
And it's like the whole time they're on this magic carpet ride, and he's lying to her about who he is, about what he does. It's all just a pack of lies.
Okay.
It's all a pack of lies.
His love for her was genuine. That's why he was doing everything. So what he was saying was speaking from the heart and speaking truth about how he felt about her.
Yeah, but how
And
much
that-
is
the
that?
whole
How
movie
important
is
is that
about
when
his-
everything else is a lie?
I mean,
It's all a lie.
and
again, not even the best song in Aladdin. The best song in Aladdin
What?
is Prince Ali.
oh, no way.
Hardcore.
No way. I love Robin Williams. and
It's
he's
like
fantastic in it.
theatrical AF. It's high
And A Whole
energy.
New World is not theatrical.
It sets up.
I can show you the world.
It sets up the entire movie.
No.
If
No, it
even
doesn't.
without A Whole New World, the rest of the movie would continue on as usual.
Without Prince Ali, it would have continued on. You could have skipped the entire entrance scene of him, and he
No,
could
they
have
have
just
to
gone
show
and knocked
like
on the
how
fucking door.
like rich he is and blah blah blah. Again, lying. Like
And so the lying point doesn't really make any difference when it comes to the song. So scratch that out.
he was lying to her. Like I think it makes a difference when
lying
it's a
from the
love
beginning.
song. Like
Well,
it's a love song built on
all
a
of his-
throne of lies.
All of his riches, all of the splendor, all of that was a lie. But from the very beginning, why did he want to do this? Because he loved her and was in love with her. So A Whole New World is really showing who Aladdin is.
If he couldn't win her over without all of that stuff, then it was doomed from the beginning. And if she wasn't gonna like him without all of that stuff, it was doomed from the beginning.
That wasn't the point. I'm not going to get into the plot of Aladdin over this. That was not
Fair.
even remotely the point.
Fair. Move on to your second point.
I'm hurt a little bit by that one. I think
You could tell who the romantic one is in this relationship. It's not me.
so. All right. So my second point in support of A Whole New World from Aladdin being the best Disney song of all time, it won a lot of awards, which I can tell you right now, Beauty and the Beast, your song, Be Our Guest, I'm pretty sure it didn't. But A Whole New World won the Academy Award for Best Original Song at the 65th Academy Awards, and also won the Grammy for Song of the Year at the 36th Grammy Awards. And it was the first and only Disney song to receive Song of the Year award at the Grammys. So,
Cool.
yeah, so we already know that it's done
But
way
what
more than
other
Be Our
song-
Guest. Also, I'm not
Okay,
done
keep
with
going,
its
keep
many
going. I'm sorry.
accolades here.
I'm sorry. Keep
So
going.
it also went number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart and was certified gold by the RIAA for over 500,000 copies sold. And I will point out that if you want to do any fact checking or anything like that, the version that went number 1 on the Billboard chart was actually the version that was the single that was put on the soundtrack, not the one sang in the movie, the one that shows at the end credits.
Okay,
It's a little
who
bit
sang
different.
that one?
Peebo Bryson and Regina Bell. Peebo Bryson sings like 9 billion Disney songs. I'm actually pretty sure that he sang a lot of the songs in Beauty and the Beast as well. You can look it up, but that's the version that went number one at Billboard. The one that's in the song, that's in the movie, was a duet that was done by Brad Kane and Leah Solanga. So a couple of different versions, but overall same song, just different parts of the movie. And
Okay, yeah, I'll give you that.
I would like to also point out that the song was so damn big that that's the song that plays in the end credits as well, which you usually save the best song for that.
Okay, but this is my question. What other songs were nominated that year? Because maybe it was just a bad year for music, and, you know, this one rose to the top just because everything else was like,
so
meh.
On the Billboard charts, the song that it replaced at number one was Whitney Houston.
What song?
I Will Always Love You.
All right.
Yeah, I'm hearing silence over there.
You got me there.
Uh-huh.
Only because I love Dolly Parton, and that's a Dolly Parton song.
Okay.
I can't really argue with that.
So it was a pretty decent year for music, and it knocked off
All right.
a song that pretty much everybody knows and loves.
Yes.
I won't say loves. There's probably people that are out there like, I hate Whitney Houston, and if you're one of those people,
You're wrong.
stop listening.
We don't want you here.
I don't need that negativity in my life. Whitney Houston is a fucking treasure.
Yeah.
So
at least we can agree on that.
we can. We will never argue about that on this podcast. But just to reiterate, an Academy Award, a Grammy, number one on the Billboard charts. I don't think that you really need any more awards after that. Those are the main ones. Mm-hmm. And my third point in support of Aladdin's A Whole New World being the best Disney song of all time. Aladdin, the movie, was the highest grossing animated film at the time. It surpassed a movie that came out just before that. Beauty and the Beast.
All right.
And it is still one of the most successful Disney animated feature series of all time.
I tell you what, that live action didn't do anything.
And the live action Beauty and the Beast did something.
I mean, it had
besides almost ruin.
What's her name? Emma Watson.
Yeah, almost
Is
ruin
that her name?
career. And also, I would like to point out, this is completely separate, but since you're on the topic of the live action movies, what's the name of the actor who plays the Beast?
Oh, the guy from Downton Abbey.
Yeah, the one that
Dan Stevens.
Yeah,
right. I'm so bad at celebrity names. I need to.
So the guy that they killed.
They didn't kill him. He wanted to leave because he was gonna go do Beauty and the Beast. So he left.
Okay.
So they had to kill him because he left. This
Okay.
isn't about the merits of Downton Abbey. How did this turn into that?
I'm just
and don't
throwing
you
out a
dare
point.
come for Downton Abbey.
I'm not coming for Downton Abbey. I'm coming for Beauty and the Beast. I'm saying he left your favorite show.
To
so
go
that he
do
could go
Beauty and the
do
Beast.
That dud of a live action movie.
Why does Disney keep on doing this? They never
Because it
turn
makes a
out
lot of money. They made a lot of money. They just weren't very good.
Has there been a
Aladdin
good
did.
one yet?
No, the Lion King one sucked too. We're getting a little bit off topic of the live action
Okay,
ones.
so are you gonna let me? Is it my turn to step in now, or are you done?
Well, I feel like I've made my point. It's the theme song and
You
the
made
love
a lot
song.
of good points. I will give you that.
Won an Academy Award, won a Grammy, went number one on the Billboard charts, and it's the main song from one of Disney's best animated series of all time.
That's fair.
I think I got a clear case, Your Honor. Closing shut, and we're done.
No, I disagree.
Okay.
I have some pretty good points of my own.
All right,
So
let's hear them.
Be Our Guest was also nominated for multiple awards.
Okay. What did it win?
I'll get to that. I'll
Okay.
talk about it. They are on several Best of Disney countdown lists, and it is, as I said earlier, extremely important to the plot of the film.
Okay.
Without that song, the film would not be what it went on to be. While it did not win any awards, there's a very important reason why it did not win any awards. But
Didn't
there
win. Okay.
is a very important reason why.
I'm gonna write that down. So did not win
So
any
smug.
awards.
Do you all hear how smug?
None?
So
Oh,
smug.
okay. All right. Well, continue on with your
Why
song
so
that didn't
smug?
win awards.
Anyways, okay, so it was nominated for the Golden Globes and the Academy Awards.
Okay.
It's important to note that Beauty and the Beast was the first film in history to achieve nominations for 3 separate songs from the same film.
Okay.
So what it came down to, I mean, obviously, Beauty and the Beast was one of them.
Yep.
Belle was the other. I love Belle too.
Yep.
And Be Our Guest.
Okay.
Essentially the producers and the bigwigs behind the movie had to choose which song they were going to support. And they put their muscle behind Beauty and the Beast.
The theme song, the love song for the movie. Makes sense.
Okay, but when you stack it up with my other 2 points, this is like a multi-layered, I'm making it like a multi-layered case.
Okay.
I think the sum,
Like 1A and 1B.
or what's the phrase? The whole is greater than the sum of its parts. Yeah, like that's the case here.
I mean, if we're talking soundtracks, I won't disagree that Beauty and the Beast has a better soundtrack. That's not the argument, though.
Honestly, if we had led with that statement, we wouldn't be having this argument.
No, we wouldn't. I would have to think about it a lot more whether or not I would say that it's the best soundtrack for all of the Disney movies. But if we're going
Out of the two,
it has the better soundtrack. Does it have the best song? No.
I disagree. So they, again, I think it's important to note it had some pretty stiff competition.
Yeah, it was battling against itself for 2 of the spots.
So, anyways, moving on. It's been on several best of Disney song lists. It garnered recognition from IGN, the American Film Institute. Disney has continued to use the song in the Broadway musical adaptation and the 2017 live action remake of the film. It's an important song. And then I think that my third point really ties all of this together. And that is, it's extremely important to the plot of the film. Without this song, Belle would have continued to feel unwelcome in the castle. She would have just up and left, and
She could have left at any time. She did leave
over.
at one point.
Yeah, because he said that she could. What was stopping her?
Nothing.
Just
Nothing
like
was stopping her.
Her word. Like that was, which I mean
Yeah.
is great. That's very honorable. But
Very honorable,
she probably wouldn't have continued to stay if the cutlery
everything-
hadn't done what they did.
If everything in this studio suddenly came alive and said, be our guest, you're welcome to stay, would you stay or would you get the fuck out?
I mean, it's a Disney movie. I feel like the rules don't apply.
Okay.
I mean, it depends on how cute they were. Are they going to feed me? In her situation, they weren't feeding her.
I mean, that's fair.
Yeah, you don't.
I'll love anything that feeds me.
Yeah, exactly. I don't care. It could be like a humanoid candlestick, but still, whatever. If
Yeah,
you're going to give me like French desserts, then by all means, go for it, buddy.
I mean, yeah, you got me there.
Yes.
But having a pivotal role in the film,
She would have just taken off. She would have, there wouldn't have been the love story. She is the hero of the film. Like
I know she is.
I mean, culturally, that film for
Aladdin's
little girls.
the hero of his film.
Yeah, okay, but so what? Every dude is the hero of every Disney film, with the exception, I mean, especially of the princess movies. Belle saved herself. This is from a feminist
She
standpoint.
was not a princess. Throw that out there.
But if you,
She became a princess.
yes, she's still considered, if you look at the Disney princess merchandise, she's always in there. She's one of the main ones.
She becomes a princess, but she was not a princess.
She's the hero of her own story.
That's fine.
She's
Aladdin's
smart.
the hero of his own story, from a street rat to riches. I mean,
As a little girl growing up in the 90s.
as a little boy growing up in the 90s,
Yo, Jesus.
I identified.
Yeah, tell me what part of that story you identified with, Phil. Which part of that story did you identify with, Phil? Being male? That's really all you got.
Yeah, being a male and falling into privilege.
Yeah.
I really identified with that.
Yeah. So, I mean,
I did not identify with Aladdin.
No, you did not.
identified
I
with
did.
Abu.
I was like a little nerdy girl who loved books was, a strong, independent woman.
I identified with Abu.
That I can see. Furry
and just a lot of
energy
humor and stress.
yeah. Accurate. So, I mean, to go back, to circle back, I think that, this song, it's an important song for an important movie in its time. And I think that that's a huge point to make.
I'll let you roll with that, I guess.
We're not going to come to an agreement on this.
No, we're not, but...
We never will.
Well, I mean, to be perfectly fair, I mean, the arguments have been laid out. My song won a lot of awards. Your song didn't.
All right.
You can chime in. You can let us know which of the two you think is better. And you can also chime in and tell us what you think the best Disney song of all time is.
We'd love to hear it.
And, when we have this argument, we do leave out a lot of like the current like Pixar movies like Moana and Frozen and stuff like that. Like
we're like sticking to the classics.
Yeah, we're more into the classics.
I mean, we don't have children, so we can't. It's not like we're like. Although we got into Moana.
Yeah,
that song that The Rock sang slapped.
It really did. I mean, we played that soundtrack for our dog a lot.
We did.
I mean, but. Again, not really getting into that.
But if you say something from Pinocchio or Dumbo, you are wrong.
You're 100% wrong.
So wrong.
Oh my God, Pinocchio was awful.
It was so bad. And then Dumbo was just depressing.
It really was. Wow. The more you think about it.
A lot of them were. I mean, they weren't like grim fairy tales, but like still sad.
Disney was pretty fucked up back then.
Bambi.
Ooh, Bambi, yeah.
The Fox and the Hound. Yeah.
Oh, man, if you want to just fucking weep for days on end, watch The Fox and the Hound.
My dad's favorite Disney movie is The Fox and the Hound.
Why?
I don't know. He also liked Old Yeller. Have you seen Old Yeller?
Yeah, I have seen Old Yeller.
Yeah, that's depressing.
Man, all right. Well, on that high note.
Sorry to drag it down. My dad likes weird movies.
Shit, all right. Wow, that took a way bad left turn. But chime in on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, at 3RingsPod. That's THREE.
Spell it out.
Rings Pod. You can go and find us, follow us. You can let us know, was A Whole New World from Aladdin better than Be Our Guest from Beauty and the Beast? You can let us know who wins this argument.
Off, both of us.
Well, I want to hear both. I want to know who won this argument.
Yeah, out of the two, which do you like more?
And then tell us what your favorite is, and tell us why we're both wrong. Because you can't just be like, oh no, the best Disney song is the opening theme for Lion King, and then just leave it at that. Be like, yeah, it's a great song, but why?
Yeah.
Tell me why.
Yeah.
Why is it better than A Whole New World?
Jeez, oh Pete's. Yeah, and like we said, share what you guys are bickering about.
Yeah.
Because we would love to solve somebody else's problems.
Yeah, we'll settle your fights. That might not go the way you want it to go.
Yeah, probably it will be a lot easier than solving our own.
Yeah.
We're an objective third party.
You can let us know. We'll argue about it. And then once we're done and you're like, all right.
It could be like a choose your fighter situation.
Yeah, send it to your significant other and be like,
who do you want to represent you?
Be like, I really want you to listen to her in this because she makes a lot of great points. I'm not saying that you're wrong, but you should. I should preface it. We are not here to settle any serious debates. No.
It has to be fun.
It has to be fun. It has
we're
to
not
be
gonna
stupid.
we're not gonna decide like whose house you're going to for Christmas between all of your like family members. Like that's not. We're not here for that.
No.
But if you want us to talk about which side, like, or which way the toilet paper roll goes on the dispenser, then absolutely we will talk about that all damn day.
Yeah, I can talk about that all damn day.
It goes over. Like, the flap goes over the top.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
See, that's not why we're going to argue about it, because we agree. Now, if only I could get you to do it.
But don't get us started on Best Pop-Tart.
Yeah.
I will fight you to the death about that.
Yeah, we will fight about that one. But next week, we're actually we're going to get into a very heated debate.
LOL, I see what you did there.
The thermostat and where it should be set.
God. And I feel like this is a fight that a lot of couples have.
And I will preface this by saying that we're not far off when it comes to this one, but it makes a difference. And that's why we fight about it.
Yes.
So that's going to be next week's episode of the Three Rings podcast is going to be the thermostat centered.
Yes.
And yes.
Thank you all for listening, and come back next week.